Hello, and welcome back to the Tea and Soju C-Drama podcast, your drama hangout for all things C-Drama. I'm your host, Liliana, so grab your tea, pour your soju, and let's chat dramas. In today's episode, we are going to be reviewing the Chinese drama A Splendid Match with our guest, Carol. But first, a little housekeeping. If you're enjoying the podcast, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe on the platform you're listening on. It really helps Tea and Soju reach more drama fans. For extra content, check out Patreon, where you'll find behind the scenes content, first impressions, Zoom meetups, and more. And if you'd like to chat with me or join the community, come find me on Discord, Instagram, and the socials. The link is in the episode notes. So, Carol, welcome back. You will know Carol. She's been on a couple of episodes, but I will still let her go ahead and introduce herself.
Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for having me, Liliana. I'm so excited to be here. I'm Carol from KdramasMusings on Instagram, and I'm back. My last one was Pursuit of Jade, so I'm excited to
Yeah.
be back for this.
Oh, I always love having you on. You're always so much fun to record with.
Oh,
So,
thank you.
you will surely hear Carol for more episodes for sure. But before we get into today's episode, what have you been watching recently?
You know, right now, my royal nemesis
Yes, me
has
too.
me
Me too.
hooked.
Yeah.
I have been, for the first time, playing the dance of oh, I won't watch. I'll wait for more episodes to come out.
Do you know what? I was having this little moment where I said, you know what? I haven't dipped into K drama land for a little while, and when I
Yeah.
have dipped in, it's been completed shows. So to go back in and to be like, "Ugh, it's 2 episodes a week. It's two
Yeah.
episodes a week rather than episodes every single day of the week. I'm like, I don't like it.
That's so funny. Yeah, it's hard. It's hard. I don't know how people have been doing it,
Mm,
but I've been enjoying this because I'm savoring the show, or I feel like it's been such a long time since I was just excited to sit down and watch on my TV versus my phone or my
mhm.
iPad. And then I started watching, I made a mistake last week. I fell off and started watching episode 9 and I finished
Mhm.
it. And then I started 10. And at 20 minutes in, I'm like, I can't do this. I can't do that. I have to wait
I
for
need
more
to pause
episodes. I
it.
can't.
We're not that
So,
far off from it being done, though. It's only like this week and then
no,
it finishes next week. So I'm,
really?
yes, 14
Wait,
episodes.
it's not 16 episodes.
No, it's 14. Did I just break your heart a little bit? It's 14. I'm pretty sure it's 14. I'll open up
No,
MDL, but I'm pretty sure it's 14. Let me
I
just bring it
have it
up. Yeah, it's
open.
14.
Dang. Okay, okay. Well, maybe if it's 14, that means we'll have a tighter story because
Yeah,
sometimes
yeah, yeah.
K-dramas towards the end, you're just like, what the hell happened here? Why is this falling apart? It's because you have too many episodes. So I'm hoping this one ends well. If this one sticks the landing, I think it's going up there as one of the best dramas of 2026, for sure.
Oof. That's a tall order. I'm hoping it sticks to landing. I'm really hoping it sticks to landing. And also, I am just hoping and praying that because it's 14 and not 16, we won't get the dreaded breakup in, the
Yes.
last couple of episodes because that would drive me bonkers. It's one of the things that I dislike the most. So I'm just
Yeah.
like, please don't. Please, for the love of everything that's holy, do not throw
Oh,
in a third act breakup in there. It's unnecessary. So yeah,
yeah.
I'm actually really enjoying that one. I'm also like halfway through episode 10 as well. I was like, I'll finish it. Um, I'll finish it next weekend when then there's 2 episodes
Yeah.
um left. So yeah, I'm excited to see where that one goes. What else am I watching? I'm watching Dazzling,
Okay.
um, which I like. I like I like it in the way that it's just a very comforting youth drama. Really like the seaside town. Like I just want to go and visit type situation. So yeah, and I've started The Bad Kids, which I'm really really excited about
Oh.
because that's like touted as one of the best like Chinese crime dramas. So I'm very excited about that. And I will say from episode 1, the opening scene, I was like I'm sold. Like, what is happening?
Oh.
I love this, but I'm sold because that opening scene is just so interesting. So yeah, I'm
Have
very,
you
very, very intrigued.
dropped have you dropped Crown to Ashes or Ashes to
Oh,
Crown?
Ashes to Crown. No, shockingly enough, so listeners, I it is me. Carol can confirm. And if you're on Spotify, listening to this on Spotify or YouTube, you can go and see the video. It is me. I have not been abducted by aliens over here. But I have watched 10 episodes of Ashes to Crown, which is the Zoyiran and Chengdu Ling drama. And if you're a long time listener, you know I am not a Chengdu Ling fan in the slightest. And this drama is not going to make me a Chen Duling fan because her acting is still not necessarily great. It's a
Okay.
little bit better, but I just keep thinking if, like, the last time I watched her, to be honest, the last time I watched her properly was in Till the End of the Moon, all the way back in 2023, which would have been
Okay.
recorded in 2022. So by this point, I was like, look, I'm hating on her without giving her another shot to any of her recent work. So I was like, I'm gonna check out Ashes to Crown and see because lots of people are saying she's so much better now. And I went in and I was like, I'm gonna try my hardest to keep an open mind. And I was like, if this is all the improvement she can manage in almost 4 years, I'm like, I don't think it's quite enough. I will say, she does have a couple more expressions to her. I will say, but my problem is I think she lacks chemistry with her
West.
co-stars. And
Yeah.
that's not just a thing with Zoyaran, it's been a thing with other co-stars. I think she just can't quite grasp that chemistry. And the other thing is, I don't know how to explain this. You know how sometimes you look at somebody and they're they're recording that they're on screen and you don't see, for example, right, I'm going to pick on Bailu for example. You're
Mm-hmm.
watching a Bailu drama, you're
Mm-hmm.
watching it, and that's not Bailu, right? That's the character. Does that make sense
Yes.
what I'm trying to say?
Yes.
With Chen Duling, I don't really see that. I always just see Chen Duling acting as the character, if that makes sense. And that to me is always something that takes me out of the drama a little bit, so it doesn't quite work for me.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
I have watched 10 episodes, and the way that it's in my mind is it's kind of like Maid's Revenge or something like that. It's a mini drama, but 24 episodes of 40 minutes.
Yes.
That's what
Okay.
it is. That's
I
my
dropped it.
mindset for it.
Yeah. I dropped it. I watched 7 episodes and I dropped it because, like you said, it's a mini drama elongated.
Hmm, hmm.
And I just couldn't. I guess my reaction was, ah, so everybody knows who everybody is. Like, how can you know this is the bad guy already? And so it didn't
Yeah.
draw me in.
Yeah.
It's just like, oh, then it should end like in 2 episodes.
Yeah.
Um,
Do you know what
and
it
I,
is? Do you know what it is as well? It's that it's like big event, big event, big event, big event, back to back to
yeah,
back. So there's no like breathing room. So
yeah,
that those events aren't as impactful because like, oh,
yes,
it's only been 10 minutes since the last big reveal or the last big event. So it's
yeah,
not really that much of a shocker that something else big is happening. Um, I feel like it's almost a little too fast paced, if that makes sense.
yeah. And the whole prince who was in love with her and ended up, spoiler, sorry, sorry.
It's episode one. That's like from episode one. So
Exactly.
it's the setup
So
of the
that
story.
that guy, I don't think he just came out of nowhere for me. I was like, what was the build up? Like, why is he interested? It just felt so rushed and sudden
Hmm.
that, and ooh, I was gonna make a hot take and I paused.
You can go ahead.
I'm like, you're not Lei. You're not like, you know,
You're not
let's,
captivating enough.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So why should I care? And
Yeah.
yeah, so I dropped it.
No, it makes sense. At this point, to be fair, I have watched 10 episodes and I don't know if I'm going to finish because we're getting the first Jasmine tomorrow, and look, that's going to be my baby. Like I'm going to be running to
Oh, me
it
too.
every
Me too.
day. So, that's obviously going to take priority. I'm enjoying Dazzling far more than I am Ashes to Crown. So, obviously, that's also going to be on the priority list to
Yeah.
finish up. Um, and then there's another drama that possibly is coming out this week as well that I'm really intrigued by. So, it's like, I don't think I'm going to be, I'm going to be busy with other stuff. It just depends whether I might just have it as like a background watch, and while I'm doing podcast stuff, like I'll watch it as a background watch, um, and maybe finish it that way. But we'll see. We'll see. We'll see. It's fine. We'll
Okay.
have the first Jasmine tomorrow.
I'm
By the time
excited.
this episode is out, so but if you're listening, first Jasmine's already out. If you aren't watching it, then please do. I'm endorsing it without even knowing if it's going to be good or not. But I'm like,
Exactly.
look, it's by Lu. But the thing is, it's by Lu and Chong Lei. Surely it has to be good. Surely.
It's a recipe for
Sure.
success.
It does. It does. And I was looking at the director and stuff, and I think they're pretty good as well, if I'm not mistaken. So that's usually a better tell whether something's going to be good or not, whether um it's 40 episodes as well, so that's interesting.
Ooh.
Yeah, it's 40 episodes. But this is the writer that did Arsenal Military Academy, Love and Destiny from 2019, which I wasn't a fan of, but Caitlin was. Caitlin loved that one. But this is also the original creator for Princess Agents, which a lot of people loved.
Oh.
So yeah, I'm intrigued. And she's worked with Bailu a couple of times. It's female
Okay.
led. It's a female director and it's a female screenwriter, which I'm always like, clap, clap, clap. Exactly.
Love
When
to
that
see it.
happens, I'm always like, yes, please, and thank you. Um, so yeah, I'm just intrigued. I think we're gonna be. This is the same director that did Eternal Love or 10 Miles of Peach Blossoms and like Chinese Paladin and stuff like that. So I think we're in good hands. Um, Look, it's a women team. I'm just excited. Whenever that happens, I'm like women director and woman screenwriter.
Sign me
I'm
up.
happy. Yeah,
Yeah.
sign me up. But let's move on to why we're here today, and that is to review A Splendid Match. So, Let me go through the details. So, the MDL synopsis for this reads: due to a fortune teller's prediction that she is a jinx to her father's career, Gu Jin Zhao, the eldest daughter of the Gu family, has been fostered in her grandparents' home since birth. Although her biological parents ignored her, she is doted on by her grandmother, developing a bold and unrestrained personality. Returning to her own family, she deals with people and situations in a tough manner. Her vitality catches the eye of the powerful court official Lord Chen, the heir apparent Ye Xian, and the upright gentleman Xuan Qing. Oh god, I hate that man. Faced with the issue of marriage, Gu Jin Zhao has her own view of marriage and love. After she gradually saw her heart clearly, she firmly chose. Oh, I'm not going to read that because that's like a spoiler. But anyways, I think that's well, is it? She firmly chooses Lord Chen, who has respected her nature and allowed her to be herself. After they got married, she gradually grew into a qualified wife of an important official, assisting Lord Chen to ascend to the position of Prime Minister step by step. Together with Lord Chen, she implemented a series of policies that benefited the country and the people, reliving the suffering of the people and achieving a peaceful and prosperous era. So this is adapted from the web novel Liang Chen Mei Jin by it was written by Chen Xianghua Jin. It's 40 episodes. It aired from May 3rd, 2026 to May 21st, 2026. It is a Hunan TV production. So that means it was aired originally on Mango TV because Mango TV is the online platform for Hunan TV. It is an idol period costume romance drama, and it currently sits at an 8.3 on MDL and a 5.9 on Douban, which is not that bad. Like, a 5.9 is not that bad because it's hard to get anything above like a 6.5 on Douban, anyways. So you can watch this on WeTV, Mango TV, Viki, Aichi as well. So this is like everywhere. I'm surprised it's not on Netflix yet. It was
Right?
directed, right, yeah. But I think it's when stuff is on Viki, it doesn't tend to be on Netflix and vice
That's true.
versa. I think one or the other usually gets it. So yeah.
Yeah.
So this was directed by Jin Xiong Hao. He has been directing since 2019, and he's directed stuff such as Mountains and Oceans from 2019, Love Behind the Melody from 2022, and You Are My Secret from 2024. I was looking through and this is the first thing I've seen of this director. I don't think I've seen anything else from him. Have you seen anything from this director,
No,
Carol?
this is my first time.
Mm.
Yeah.
Um, as for the screenwriter, it's a female screenwriter called UR, and she's been in the game since 2017. She's done things such as The Fox's Summer from 2017, The Legend of Zuohua from 2023, and The Glamorous Night from 2026. I also don't know this screenwriter. However, I do have The Legend of Zuohua on my plan to watch list at some
Mm.
point, but I
Okay.
just haven't gotten to it. Have you watched anything from her?
Nope.
Mm.
So you go on, but the only reason I hit play on this drama was because of Sisha.
Yeah, the
Like
male lead.
I
Yeah.
it was my first time seeing him in a drama. So you go on and then we can talk about it.
Oh, was it? Okay, okay. So, as for the cast, we have as the female lead Ren Min. Now, Ren Min has been acting in movies since 2016 and in dramas since 2020. She was in this drama voiced by the voice actress Liu Rei. And Ren Min has done things such as Serenade of Peaceful Joy from 2020, the Longest Promise from 2023, The Rise of Ning from 2024, and Light to the Night from 2026. Now, I have seen Ren Min before. So I tried The Longest Promise and I dropped it. I did not finish it. Um, The Rise of Ning, I did actually enjoy The Rise of Ning. But apart from that, oh, and Light to the Night, I did see her in Light to the Night.
Okay.
But apart from that, I haven't really watched her in anything else. But she's an actress that I like, although I like her more now with this after this role, I think. What is your experience with her, Carol?
Again, nothing. Nothing with her. But I'm going down the rabbit hole, so I started The Rise of Ning,
Mm-hmm.
and it's okay. It's okay right
Yeah,
now. Um, yeah. I just she's very pretty. I love
she
her
is.
acting. I think she is talented. So I was like, okay, I'll give it some more. She has a
Mm-hmm.
unique face from what we're
She does.
typically used to. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So the reason why Carol started this drama, and I think the reason why a lot of people started this drama is the male lead. So male lead is C Shah, and he's been acting since 2021. So he's not been acting for that long, and he's
No.
typically done male lead roles rather than male lead roles. Now in this drama, he was voiced by Liu Si Tsen, and Sisha has done dramas such as Forever and Ever from 2021, which is where I think I first saw him, was in
Okay.
Forever and Ever. He's also been in The Blue Whisper from 2022, A Date with the Future from 2023, and The Legend of Heroes from 2024, where he does play a main role, but all the others are side characters.
Okay.
But yeah, he's an actor that I like. I think he's quite capable. He also just has a very interesting look to him,
Yeah.
um, which is very interesting, on screen. But yeah, I like him, and I'm glad that he's getting more main roles and like more of a chance to sort of show his capabilities. Um, but yeah, well, you said this was your first drama with him, wasn't it?
Yeah. So what happened was, I think last month or maybe the month before, my best friend who is Chinese, she was like, "Hey Carol, my man is in a movie. Let's go to the theater and watch it." I was like, "Oh,
Mm-hmm.
your man? Bet. I'm here to support." So we
Yeah,
go
of course.
see Blades of the Guardians.
Mm-hmm.
And, I think the way I was introduced to him was like he's he's a great actor, he's up and coming. He's like a protege to either Jackie Chan or Bruce Lee in terms
Mm-hmm.
of his martial arts capability. And like he's generally a good kid and he's handsome. I was like, say less, say less. You don't have to say a lot of things. I'm going with you. Let's go
Yeah.
watch it. And I watched the movie and I loved that movie. That is one of the best martial arts movies
Mm.
in the last couple of years. It was so good. And so I was like, oh, okay, I'm gonna look out for him. And then I saw Splendid Match and I was like, he does dramas? Sign me up.
Sign me up. Yeah, yeah, yeah. And that's
And
how
that's
you
how I
got here.
started. Yeah.
Oh, I'll have to look out for the movie because I have not watched that.
Oh, it was
Yeah.
good.
Mm.
It was really, really good. The fight scenes, the story is not revolutionary, I'll tell you
Yeah.
that.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and the hero, I guess you're trying to figure out who the hero is, who the antagonist is, and yeah, I loved it.
Okay. Okay. So, as for the other main leads, well, they're classed as main leads on MGL. So the other one is Dong Si Chang. He's also known, more commonly known as Win Win. He is part of the Korean K-pop group NCT, and he's been acting since 2023. He was voiced in this by Su Chong Ching, And Win Win has been in dramas such as Sweet Games from 2023, Snowfall from 2024, and Perfect Match from 2025. Now, I have watched him in a couple of things, and I keep saying, make this guy do some more dramas because I quite like seeing him on screen. Now, I'm not an NCT fan, so I don't know what he's like in, in the group. But he must be booked and busy if he's doing dramas and, being part of NCT.
Uh,
Um,
yeah,
he must be pretty, because like NCT feels like a pretty big K-pop group.
yeah.
So yeah, but I really like him as an actor, and I think like he's only been acting since 2023, so it's not been that long at all. And the way he emotes on screen, I just yeah, I just quite like him as an actor. And I feel like if he's acting this way and it's only been 3 years, then, with more dramas under his belt, then he could really, really become quite a powerful actor if he chooses to go down that route. Also, he's just very easy on the eyes. He's just very, very easy on the eyes, is he not? So yeah, what's your experience with him, Carol?
Girl, I just found out he was in NCT just now. Like, I just,
There you go. See, but if you don't follow, the thing is, if you don't follow a specific group, right, you're
yeah.
not going to know that. You're going to know him for the things that you've seen him in. And like in our case, it'd be, oh, he's just a Chinese actor. He's not, you don't necessarily associate him to be, an NCT member. But yeah, he is. He is.
I think why this drama also worked for me is I completely went in blind. Like I did not
Mhm.
even read the synopsis. I
Okay.
had no idea what was
What was,
happening,
yeah.
but I watched the first couple of episodes and immediately I was like, no, this one is going to be one to watch. This one is,
Hmm.
it's just, I'm excited to talk about it because let's say I were comparing it, which we shouldn't do, but please give me room.
Hmm.
Prisoner of Beauty or like what I liked about their relationship. I was looking at this one. I'm like, huh, this is what I like about this relationship. And I
Hmm.
guess that's why I stuck with the show.
Yeah. Yeah. So, the last lead in this drama is Huang Yi, and she's been acting since 2019, and she has actually produced 4 dramas herself since 2020, which
Wow.
is quite impressive. So she's done Fairyland Romance since in 2023, The Tale of Rose in 2024, and Fate Chooses You in 2026. So that is the other female lead that plays Gu Lan, who I will say right now had one of my favorite arcs in the whole story. I will put that out now. I really did like her arc in the story. But yeah, so that is all the information about the show. Let's talk general thoughts about this show. Non-spoiler general thoughts. So,
Okay.
you go first, Carol. I'll let you lead.
I know this is an age gap romance
Y-
because I do think the male lead is way more mature than everyone else around him, and people are calling
Mhm.
him uncle. So I think I was expecting him to like maybe be in his late 30s or 40s,
Mhm.
and her being what, just 18, 18?
Yeah, I think so. 17, 18. Yeah.
Yeah, but when you look at him, you're not getting that 30, 40. So that was a little ambiguous to work through. But when
Mhm.
I locked in, I was locked in. And I think that the story was great. I think the female lead is the star of the show.
Mhm.
because she really had a way of understanding people's strengths and weaknesses and motivations. And she was just incredibly smart and able to read the room and very
Mhm.
resourceful.
Yes, yes.
That was the shining star for me because where there's a will, there's a way, and she would find
Hmm.
the way.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
There were some characters in the show that I was very surprised and annoyed by.
Hmm.
One of, I guess we'll call him a villain, but one of our villains, that whole story arc pissed me right the off.
I know exactly. Do you know what? Without you even saying who it is, I know exactly who you're talking about because I had the same thoughts, and I'm like, we must be talking about the same. But we'll get into it in the spoiler section. But I'm
Yeah.
so incredibly sure that we're talking about the same person.
Yeah.
Because I literally wrote in my notes, I'm so over this. Like, I need this to be done with.
Yes. Okay, we're talking about the same person for
Oh,
sure.
we absolutely are. We absolutely are.
And
Um,
and I think that that character maybe ruined the show a little for like it lost a star. For sure lost
mhm,
a star
mhm,
because
mhm.
it was too drawn out.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. And the politics in this show, I dare say, the politics was better than Pursuit of Jade.
Yeah, Pursuit of Jade, like the politics are not its highest point, are they? It's not the highest point. However much love I have for that show, it's
Yeah.
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 Um, okay, so funnily enough, I had a little bit of a different experience because going in, the reason that I went in was like, oh, I'm hearing so much talk about this. I'm gonna, check it out. And also because I was intrigued to see Sisha in like a male lead role because I'd been seeing him in secondary roles for so long. And in the beginning, I was like, this female character is driving me bonkers. And I don't understand
Really?
why. Yeah, and I think it was just because she was so immature at first almost. And I understood, like, by a couple of episodes later, I was like, oh, it makes sense. Like, you're starting her off as this character, but then she's gonna grow and develop. And this was just very initially, like, something just wasn't clicking for me at first. And it was mainly because of her. But she also ended up being my favorite part of the whole show by the end. So I think it was just, I don't know if I was just not in the right mood at first or whatever it was, or
Okay.
if I just had different expectations going in. I don't
Okay.
know.
But
But
okay, go ahead.
by the end, she was absolutely my favorite part of the show, I will say. I liked her development and how you exactly what you were saying. I love the fact that she really knows how to command a situation and she doesn't
Yes.
necessarily need to be saved. Like she can sort of work her way out of a lot of things. Yes, there is certain situations where she kind of needs somebody to come and, use a sword and fight for her. But for the most part, she doesn't feel like a damsel in distress. And I really, really like
Yes.
that. I love that aspect of it. I liked her relationship with the male lead. I liked how it was built and how it came from a place of mutual understanding and a place of, you know, um, I don't know, friendship almost. So I really, really appreciated that. But overall, I liked the drama. I have two very specific quibbles with it that have dropped my rating a bit. Um, one of them being the later half. It's all in the later half of the drama, like the last sort of 6 episodes or so.
Okay.
I was getting frustrated by the same storyline that you were, but also the ending felt a little abrupt for me. It felt
Yes.
like a mid-sentence episode
Yes.
end. So I was like, I almost just needed one more episode for them to go in and kind of check in on everybody and tidy everything up, because
Yeah.
some of the characters are just kind of left mid
Hanging.
sentence, ending pending sort of situation. And that was one of my bigger quibbles. It's almost like they ran out of episodes to kind of fully flesh out that ending.
But isn't that like, remember I was messaging you and saying, ah, is this episode or is this show 36 episodes or 40 episodes? Like it wasn't clear. And
Mm-hmm.
it took forever for Aichi, please forgive me,
Mm-hmm.
to have the other episodes, while Mango TV was like, I got it all. I actually
Did
went
you
to
go watch it
Mango
on
and be
Mango TV?
like,
The thing is, it's because it's a so Hunan TV, it's Aichi didn't produce this. Aichi was only distributing it, right?
exactly, yeah,
So Mango TV belongs to Hunan TV, which this drama was done by Hunan TV. So on Mango TV, you could get access to like the Express Pass and whatnot because it's their
yeah,
drama, right? So that's why Aichi didn't have that. It's the same thing as like sometimes they'll have a drama on Tencent and on Aichi and whatever, but only one of them gets the Express Pass
yeah,
because,
I
it
agree,
belongs
yeah.
to that specific platform and they want you to go to that platform to kind of,
Mm,
pay them the money type of situation. So yeah, I did get really, because like by the end it was like, just give me the last. And also initially apparently it was 36 episodes. It wasn't, it was always 40 episodes, but Aichi said 36, MDL said 36, so obviously I was like, well, it's 36 episodes. But then they pulled up the last calendar and they had it to episode 40 and I was like, oh no, we're getting 40 episodes, not 36. So,
that's why I
yeah.
feel like, okay, that's why I feel like we were left hanging with the
Hmm.
ending. I'm kind of like, is there more? And they just didn't give it to us. Like, what's happening here? I I feel like it was cut short
Hmm.
because when Chen Yan Yun, our male lead,
Hmm.
gets the whole facial hair and that whole scene, my God,
That
I
was too
actually,
short.
that was too short. And then
It's
you
too
see the whole
short.
hidden clips of
Yeah.
it. That
And there's
tells me there was more
yeah,
story.
yeah, yeah. There was. There
So,
definitely was.
yeah,
It's like Ling Bo Yi in Love Like the Galaxy all over again when he gets like the facial hair and
yes.
the very, and it's like, you give me one episode of Roulet looking that fine. It's
Oh my
just not
gosh.
acceptable. It's just not acceptable.
So
So
you
it's the same
said,
situation here.
yeah, you said something at the beginning where you said you didn't um like the female lead. I was like, now hold on. Isn't she pretty much just like Cheng Shao Sheng from Love Like the Galaxy?
Yeah, I think she is, but I don't know. Maybe I was being a bit more
Strict?
biased
Okay.
because I'm very, very biased towards Zalushi. And I don't know, Zalushi has that way about her that even when she's
Yes.
acting bratty almost, you still like her because she's got that likability to her, if that makes sense. And I'm not saying Ren Min can't do that, but I don't know. Also, when I watched Love Like the Galaxy, it was like, I don't know, 3 years ago. Was it three, four
That's
years
true.
ago that Love Like the Galaxy? So I think where I am now, I just have a little less patience than I
Yeah.
did
Yeah.
back then. Uh, but like I said, I was being very, very hasty because I know like characters have to have a starting point, and they
Yeah,
did do her development so well that by the end, she was absolutely like my favorite character in the whole show,
yeah. Okay.
just because of how she dealt with things and how she stood up for herself in situations, and she was not going to take anything lying down.
Yeah.
So I loved her character by the end. It just took me like a little while to kind of like warm up to her, I think. But by the
Okay.
end I was like, I'm sold. I'm sold. She is the reason to watch this show, I think. Like her character specifically is the reason
Yes,
to really watch this show.
I
So
agree.
let's rate this and then we can get into spoiler territory. So, one teacup, I watched it somehow. Not good, but something kept me going. And that's a 1 to a 5.5 on MDL. Two teacups, just okay. Fine as a background watch, but not one I'd really recommend. And that's a 6 to a 7 on MDL. Three teacups, the enjoyable ones, a solid drama I'd recommend for fans of the genre, and that's a 7.5 to an 8 on MDL. And then we have four teacups, the loved ones, not perfect, but a really enjoyable drama I'd happily recommend, and that's an 8.5 to a 9.5 on MDL. And then we have five teacups. Those are rose tinted glasses territory. Flaws? What flaws? I loved it so much, I'm ignoring the flaws. And that's your 10 on MDL. So for me, I'm gonna do four teacups because I rated this an 8.5 on MDL. So that is like right at the entrance of four teacups. So I think that's where I would rate this one. And I have specific quibbles with it, but I can't talk about it unless we're in the spoiler territory. So I will explain my reasoning later on in the episode. What about
Yeah,
you, Carol? What would you rate this?
I would give it a 4 also, or like
Hmm.
almost 4.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's like it's just on the threshold. I'm like, is it a 3.5? It's like 3.54 territory, I would
Yeah,
say.
yeah, yeah, I agree. I agree.
So, this is your spoiler warning. If you have not watched this show and you don't want to be spoiled, then please pause now, go watch it, and then come back. If you don't mind spoilers, then please go ahead and listen on. So we're now on the other side of spoilers, which means everything's on the table. Should we start with our female lead? I feel like that's the best place to start because I feel like her character is, you know, um, she's great. She's great. One of the things that I actually really, really loved about her was her relationship with her grandma because I
Yes.
adored how her grandma was just like, you do what you got to do, and I'm here, I got your back. I loved that relationship because we don't often get to see a great grandma in these dramas, do we?
Yeah.
Um, so I really, really liked her relationship with her. I loved the fact that, you know, she isn't sure about the male lead at first. She's so weary about it, and
Yes.
it takes her time to kind of warm up to the idea of even wanting to be or wanting to marry him. Um, so yeah, what are your thoughts about her, and we can leave it all on the table. We can spoil the heck out of it now.
I really like her. I think, like I said, she's incredibly smart. She's very resourceful and she's able to read the room and she's able to take action. I love the relationship with her grandmother because her grandmother sort of gave her the breath to be who she fully was. I don't think
Mhm.
she was ever a mean person. The opposite was, I think she was like the woman of the she defended people. So
Hmm.
if she saw some injustice, she would speak up to it. She would call people out, which I really appreciated because she herself knows how it feels to be ostracized. And so I enjoyed seeing that. And then when she decided I'm not gonna marry, I was like, yes, babe. She has already seen the effect it had on her mom, and she knows you can have a life without being married, looking at her
Hmm.
grandmother, looking at just her own ambitions and what she wants to do, and being resolute in that and saying, I want to be a business person and acquiring all these assets all over the place and being strategic with her assets. So it was kind of like, yeah, she was young and playful, but she was also very strategic and forward thinking.
Hmm. Hmm.
And it definitely made me pause and think about, wait, hold on a second. She's only like 18. Back in the day, these kids were really mature. Because if you ask me to do this now,
Yeah.
now I
The thing is,
could.
but back then, the thing is, I think back then everybody was so expected to, it was just a whole different life, wasn't it? And I think
Exactly.
nowadays we look at it, oh my God, such a huge age gap. But back then that was probably so
Normal.
um normal, exactly, like age gaps and marrying up and marrying older men and being young. I mean, some people would be married at like 15, 16 back then, so I guess it would make sense that they would be being prepped for that type of role.
Yeah.
um I
And
will say,
go
no,
ahead.
go ahead, go ahead, go ahead.
And she sort of like, before she said she wouldn't get married, she sort of found someone who she thought would be the perfect person who would sort of fit into her life
Hmm.
and make it peaceful. And then when she saw that wasn't happening, she's like, I've put in the effort. If you're not meeting me halfway, I respect
I'm
myself
done.
enough
Yeah,
to walk away,
yeah,
which
yeah,
is
yeah.
not something that everyone gets to experience because
No.
the desire to be chosen and to be seen and to be understood can sometimes put us in precarious situations. And I love that she was just like, this is not for me.
Hmm.
I gave you what, 50%, 60%? Like, do you see who I am? If you don't want me, then fine, I'll walk
Hmm.
away.
Yeah, yeah.
And that doesn't mean she was ready to walk away to the male lead. She was just like, I'm gonna
No,
do my own thing right now. And that is what I also loved about her. What were
I
you
will
going to say?
say, I was going to say, um, I'll make this point first because otherwise I'll forget it because it adds to your point. I will say, I think that added to her growing up, the fact that she didn't go
Yes.
straight to the male lead, but also
Yes.
it made their relationship feel more tangible and more believable because she took the time to kind of let her emotion out that she had for this first love, because it was who he was to her. It was, her first love, and she kind of let all of that go before she fully went on, and she went and discovered herself and kind of like went through the phase of, I don't want to get married, I'm just going to do business and stuff.
Yeah.
And I really appreciated that part of the show, actually, because it added to her growth and to her storyline. um I will say, with her and with the female characters, that's something that I actually really enjoyed. It was the fact that we had all sorts of female characters and all sorts of stories and different paths, whether some were a cautionary tale and others quite not. But for example, I think I highlighted it in my notes. I'm just trying to remember what episode it was. Oh yeah, so in episode like 14, we get to see um Jin Zhao's mothers. story. And my goodness, that just broke my heart a little bit because it was so incredibly sad. But it also highlights something that is still so incredibly important today, which is be very careful who you choose to do life with
Mm-hmm.
because
Mm-hmm.
that person will have the power to make your life the best or ruin it. So, her mother's story and then Concubine Song's story
Yeah.
was very
Yeah.
much a cautionary tale.
Yeah.
And I found it so sad that these two women kind of got pitted against each other um for power and for a man who at the end of the day didn't really care for either of them. um it was so
Honestly,
sad.
I this might be a hot take.
I'll go for it.
Don't waste your time with men who cannot get their shit together
Exactly.
and who cannot survive on their own without the assistance of a woman's labor and a
Mm-hmm.
woman's money like that man was a deadbeat. He was. He couldn't do anything on his own.
No.
And I definitely see she chose wrong because he had all these ambitions, but even when he had the job, he was incapable of doing it correctly. I would never
Mm-mm.
call him a high performer. Maybe
No.
he's,
No.
look at me getting back into my HR bag. Sorry.
No, that's fine. um yeah, he's
Yeah.
just a bit useless, isn't he? If he
It's
hadn't
this.
landed where he did in the family that he did, he is just useless. And it's very interesting because he has the title, because they keep banging on about how her mother's family are merchants and they're merchants and
Yeah.
they all they
Yeah.
have is because they're rich merchants, right? Because they don't
Yeah.
have the noble title. And I'm like, this family who you so disgustingly call merchants are way more capable than you are.
Yes.
um, so it's very, very I like it when we play at stuff like this where it's, money and merchant money versus noble titles and how you one really doesn't mean the other. And
Yeah.
I really appreciated them going into this and how she kind of storms back into the Gu mansion and shakes it completely up. And she's like, I'm I'm the eldest daughter technically. I'm the legitimate daughter as well. So my space is my space and you're not going to come. And I love the fact that her father tried to deal with her so many times and she was like, no, no. You're not. Don't even bother trying. Like it's not happening. Um
When she
I love
told
that about
him,
her.
you will have nothing to do with who I choose as a partner. And I was like, yes, babe. Yes.
I love her.
Oh, she's an amazing
Love
woman.
her. But I love how the front half of the drama is really realistically really just focused on her and her family issues and everything that
Yes.
comes with that. Because it really gives us a sense of who she is as a character and who she is becoming as a grown woman. So I love that. I felt so incredibly sad for her and her mother's relationship because just as they were starting to have a more developed, relationship, all of a sudden, it's kaput, it's gone.
Yeah.
Um, and that was incredibly sad. And also, I think Ren Min did a really, really, really great portrayal of that, well, the whole show, but that specific part of the show, because she was like, do I even have the right to grieve her as a mother because I didn't treat her as my mother?
Yeah,
So she had a lot of conflicting emotions towards her mum and her relationship with her mum. So I think that part of the show was done really well, really well. Yeah.
I agree.
And her relationship with her sister was to me one of my favorite parts. Because her sister started off as somebody who was just being like a bit spoiled and somebody who was making the wrong decisions and being guided down a certain path. And she had this thing in her head that she could only see what was in front of her. She could only see what mattered to her, right?
Hmm.
And she was like, oh, it's because I'm a concubine's daughter. You're the legitimate daughter. So I don't get anything because you're the legitimate daughter. And she never saw the fact that Jin Zhao kind of had to grow up away from the family. And yes, she landed in a place where her grandmother is amazing and her cousins and her aunts and everybody really loves her and cherished her. So she had a very happy childhood, but still, she didn't get to grow up with her mother. So I
Yeah,
think that was very, very interesting. And the fact that Gulan kind of went through this journey, and by the end she's like, I don't want to get married, I want to do business, and the fact that the sisters ended up going into business together, and Jin Zhao is like, I trust you, I will give you this for you to look after and so you can make a living. And and she did, and Gulan was, she grabbed it with both hands. And
yeah,
then, like, she never doubted her sister from then on, and their relationship just became stronger. Like, whatever Jin Zhao needed of Gulan, Gulan was like, I'll do it. And I think it needed that moment of her concubine song being taken away needed to happen for like Gulan to really truly feel what it's like to have the floor kind of removed from under you almost. So
I
yeah, I
agree.
loved their relationship.
I think in the beginning I was very irritated by it. That's the word I'll use because just the evil shenanigans she got up to behind the scenes were
Hmm.
very annoying. And I remember the first time she asked to invest in her sister's business, and the sister was like, no.
Yeah.
No, I'm not doing that. And then eventually to get to the point where they are able to become partners, or she's able to, like, I would put her as a director of her sister's company. I think the journey was good. I do agree the nanny and the mom needed to get out of the picture for her to like come to her senses and to realize that all the privileges she thinks she has is just hot air, right? So
Hmm.
I love their relationship too. Yeah,
Yeah.
eventually.
Eventually. Yeah, eventually. Well, yeah, at the beginning you're like, this girl needs to get it together, but I do think she does kind of grow into her own.
Yeah.
So yeah, let's talk about the male lead and let's talk about their relationship progression.
Okay.
So I really like the fact that this guy keeps saving her no matter where the heck she is. He always comes in for the rescue. Um, and really like the fact that they were partners before they were friends. Like, let's call it friends, business partners, friends, whatever it may be, before they really got into a relationship, right?
Were
Because they
they?
were working together. Yeah, they were working together on like certain cases. He was having
I
her do things. He was having her do things for her and kind of like having her help him sort things
yes.
out.
Yes, but that was only after she went to him and said, "Hey, my grandma is getting old, like her health. I want her to make sure she's safe, etc. Work with me instead." But
Mm-hmm.
prior to that, I had the impression that she was, like you said, weary of him, or
Oh
she
yeah.
didn't like him as much because you're putting my grandma in danger while she's
Mm-hmm.
helping you do all these things. So it's it was an what's the term? Like an uninvited or unwelcome interaction that she had with him in the beginning, just because of, I guess she was worried about her grandma, to the point where she asked him, work with me instead. I got you. And he's like,
Mm-hmm.
really? Are you sure? And she's like, yes.
Yeah.
And then they start working as partners, and
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
she shows her capability. And I think he was really surprised at just how smart she was and how intuitive, and you didn't have to spend a lot of time explaining things. You would say something and she would know what's next. And yeah, that really blew him away for sure.
Yeah. Right. Do you want to hear my very hot take
Yes,
about
let's
this
have it
show?
now.
So, because it kind of feeds into the male lead. I personally think that no, I don't want Ye Xian to end up with her. That is not what I want. I think that Ye Xian, the second male lead, is a more compelling character than the male lead. And let me explain why. Let me Carol's face. Carol's face, she's judging me. I'm being judged. Hang on, let me explain why.
Okay,
The male lead is an older male lead. In right, he plays somebody who is an uncle, whatever. He's got his shit together, right? He's got his shit
okay,
together. So he's very much a very steady character throughout the whole show because
okay,
there's no really any growth for him to have. There's not really any character change that much. Carol's disagreeing with it. She's I'm catching straight. Um, Now, my hot take is I am not one of those people who wanted her to end up with Yishan. I think she ended up exactly with who she wanted to end up with and who she should end up with. Like, I was very happy that, her and the male lead got together. It was very obvious that they were the right choice. But while watching it, and maybe it's because I like the red flags, I felt like I was more compelled watching Yishan's story than I was the male lead story. That's my
what
hot
was
take for the
Yishan's
show.
story?
My God, do you? What was Yishan's story?
No,
The
no.
fact that he's
What?
like, the fact that I
Mm-hmm.
think he had some growth in him. Like by
Oh,
the
please.
end,
No.
come on, by the
No, no,
end,
no, 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 no,
he
no.
died the way that he nobody thought he would.
Oh, hold
Because
on. Hold on. I am
okay.
okay. I am mixing Yi Xiang with the guy we don't like.
Oh no, 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 no! I don't like him. No, 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 no. Yishan,
Okay.
Win-Win, the NCT guy.
Yes, I was mixing. Okay. Okay.
No,
Okay.
no.
Now I'm understanding where you're
Are
putting
you? Are
down,
you
because I was just
okay?
like, what are you
Oh
saying?
no. No, you mean you were thinking that I was talking about Xuan Qing, the guy that
Yes.
came in. Oh no. He's the one we'll get into next because he's the annoying one. No, I meant Yixian, who
Let's.
is the second male lead. I know some people were shipping Yixian with Jin Zhao, but I completely agreed with what Jin Zhao told him about that they are very similar in a lot of ways and that they
Mm-hmm.
wouldn't necessarily work in a relationship.
Mm-hmm.
Um
I. Okay.
Yeah, but that's what I mean. I think he's a slightly more compelling character for me personally, and that doesn't take away from the fact that I liked the male lead. It's just that I felt that he was, and also maybe it was because he gave us a lot of looks with his very puppy face with a little white cat. Maybe that's what it was. Um, but yeah. That's my hot take.
Okay.
That's my hottest take for the show, I think.
I'm gonna. push back.
Oh, go for it. Go
I'm
for
gonna
it.
push back a little bit. I think that Yi Xiang did not have the emotional intelligence or capability, especially in the beginning.
Oh, no, I agree. I agree with that completely.
When he hit her, that was my, oh, you two will never work.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm,
And even if they had gotten married, I do think that he would have been same thing, absent-mindedly, um, cruel, whether
mm-hmm,
physically or emotionally,
mm-hmm,
to her. I think that he, in the beginning, saw her as a possession
mm-hmm,
and not like right till the day she was getting, the night before she got married. Um, Part of me was just like, this kid is so misguided and so immature. And yes, they are the same. The female lead and him are the same in some ways, but she knows what the boundaries are, and he doesn't. And it was very annoying, not annoying, but I was just like, you this weak ass boy, you really
mm-hmm,
can't do anything. For
mm-hmm,
real, for real. Like you
mm-hmm.
died and she brought you back to life.
Yeah.
You have to be focused on your health, but he had this aura of my dad is a general, we are the Shias or the Yis, and we can do whatever we want,
Mm-hmm.
which is not true for you because of your health. And
Yeah.
I'm not trying to health shame him, but I just think that the hubris was I'm like, where are you getting this from? Like,
Mm-hmm.
yo, where are you getting all this energy from? You need to be focused on how do you be there for your family because you're the only heir and you have these serious health issues. Where's the longevity? Like, where's
Mm-hmm.
the forward thinking in that area where she, the female lead, already has,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Um, and then you get to her being kidnapped, and he's like, see what you get? This is what you get for choosing the man that you chose. Like,
Mm-hmm.
you're gonna go down a difficult path. And to me, that's still not a healed person,
No,
you know?
no.
So even at that point, I uh I think one thing I really dislike is people having to accommodate for the potential of your blow up.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone
Mm-hmm.
around him was like, don't tell him, like he might
Yeah.
blow up. How are you gonna message this? Why should we be doing that?
Mm-hmm.
We all have our emotions. We're all working through shit, but everyone has to cater to you.
Yeah.
And that to me was like, it was so stupid. And then towards the end, you have that redemption, whatever, self-sacrifice, whatever you want to call it. But I feel like
Mm-hmm.
his journey was way too long in that space of immaturity, messiness, compulsiveness, emotionally instability, instability,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
and then just what, 5 or 6 episodes towards the end, he's a changed man.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree.
So
The thing is,
yeah,
I will say, I'm not saying that's why I say I never wanted him to end up with her. I don't
yeah,
think he was the right person for her at all. That I made that very clear. I am not
yes,
a shipper of them as a couple. I am possibly a shipper of friends, maybe more of her guiding him towards, something. And I loved his friendship with Chen Yan Yun, like with the male lead, because
yeah,
I think he was probably the kind of uncle father figure that his father never was to him, because he's
Yeah.
always been told he's a disappointment. Nobody expects anything from him. So he's at that point like, well, if nobody expects anything from me, then why should I bother, type of
Yeah.
situation. And
Yeah.
he's always been catered to his whole life. So that's what he expects,
Yes.
things, other people to do the same to him. So I think he was very much at a place where he was like, well, I'm gonna die soon anyways, so what's the point? And like you said, I think I think his story could have moved a bit quicker, and he could have like started changing a lot earlier, even though you do see little hints of it. But yeah, to me, one of my favorite scenes visually is the scene where he's walking with his father's tablet. It's his father's funeral procession, and
Uh,
it's her wedding procession,
yes.
and they kind of face
Cross,
head to
yeah.
head. And that was just so visually, you know, all encompassing, because it's like it's the most sorrow facing the
Yes.
most joyous. It's life and death, right? So it was so visually well told, because there's not really a lot of what's the word I'm looking for? A lot of dialogue. The only dialogue really is Yi Xian saying, let them pass.
Yeah.
And I really actually kind of liked that scene almost as him being like,
That
let
was
her
his
go.
grow up.
Let her
Yeah.
go. I think that was his grow up moment, because it was like, let her go. Um, and he does, because like his father's gone. He doesn't, it has to be him now. So I think that really was his grow up moment. And then when it comes towards the end and his death scene, I was like, I was expecting it. I mean, the whole show have been hinting at that he was not going to survive. Even if it wasn't in battle, he would have died from his heart condition. So he was never gonna, survive anyways. I love the fact that Jin Zhao kind of runs to him and is like sobbing and breaks down. And
Oh,
Chen,
she
the
wept.
male lead lets her have that moment. And I think that is such a beautiful, heartbreaking scene. Because the male lead could have been like, I don't, why you agree, if he was somebody
Yeah.
who's not understanding. He's like, why are you
Yeah.
grieving so hard for him? But the male lead understands the importance that Yi Xian had in Jin Zhao's life. And I think, he let her have that moment. And I think that was such a heartbreaking moment. But it was also like, I saw a lot of people thinking, oh, I didn't think he would die. And I was like, come on, people. The writing was on the wall.
Yeah, I knew he would eventually die, and I liked that he died on the battlefield because
hmm
there's so many layers to it. He's never
Wearing his
been
father's
able,
armor as well.
exactly. He's never been
Yeah.
able to be on the battlefield. Um, I loved that he had a gun and he's
hmm
just like, this is the best I can do at this time. He died in honor,
hmm hmm
and I loved that he had written those letters to the different women in his
Yeah.
life. Oh,
Yeah.
I'm getting teary-eyed again. Oh,
Yeah.
um,
Those scenes, I mean, I was like, those scenes, and I think also it's the way Win Win portrayed the character that kind
yeah,
of sold me even more. He really sells emotion very well.
yeah,
And he is very to me, anyways, it might not be to everybody, but to me, he's very captivating on screen. He's very charming. So yeah, I just really liked his portrayal of the character and the way, yeah, those last scenes of him, the way that he dies standing up and he's just like almost like a pillar protecting, and it's just like, oh, it was so greatly done. And like I said, I love the fact that, the male lead is the one to bring him home and to bring him back to the camp, and then she's the one to bring him home. And it's, yeah, I loved his character and his portrayal of it. And yes, he's very flawed. And like I said, I would never, like, I did not have second male lead syndrome at all, like, whatsoever. She ended up with who she needed to be with and who, was her match. But I just really liked his character. I really did.
Okay.
Uh,
Okay.
so that's my slightly hot take. Should we talk
Okay.
about the very annoying character?
Yes.
I think we need to
So,
touch on it.
oh,
Go for it,
yeah.
Carol. Go for it.
Oh my God. Okay. I I thought it was very interesting that for Ye Xian, who we just spoke about, he was very volatile. So that kind of behavior is what you're expecting towards the end. And this idiot was the opposite, where in the beginning you see him more like a gentle waters, and then he becomes a freaking tornado or a
Very
mess,
quickly as
whatever,
well. Very
very
quickly.
quickly.
Yes.
And I think what pissed me off about this kid, I was looking at him, I was like, listen, if it wasn't for your uncle, you'll be nobody.
Mhm.
Okay?
Mhm.
That's number one. Number two, I actually think he's more like her dad.
Yes.
He relies on the people around him to prop him up. Yes, he's studying hard and whatnot, but all those opportunities are given to him. He hasn't gone out and done anything for himself. And when he did, he went to the dark side right away. First opportunity to do something by himself,
Mhm.
for himself, he went to the dark side. And so he's a useless boy. Like, oh my God. He pissed me off so bad with just
Yes.
the disrespect. And I think he was disillusioned to think because people were saying, oh, you're just like your uncle, you're following his footsteps, you're going to be the next uncle.
Mhm.
He actually believed that
No.
when that was far from the truth.
Mhm.
I think he really admired the uncle in the beginning and wanted to be like him. That's why he was like into the drawing and into the calligraphy and like he really wanted to emulate him. But truly, you could never be the original. What are we talking about?
No. 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 I mean, this man saved you, and you know at this point what this man has done for you, and yet you still think that it's okay to harass his wife, literally harass his wife when she has been very clear she wants nothing to do with you. Um, also, what the hell? All of a sudden, he just walks into a post and dies. What the heck? It was so. His whole storyline, I think, was just handled a little bit poorly because I think
Yeah,
he needed to be developed more as a character and as a villain to then really be impactful in sort of
yeah,
the last half of the show or the last couple of episodes of the show. Um, but I was just so frustrated. And also, it led to a bit of a pet peeve for me because I was frustrated that all that he was doing was messing with our main couple. And I'm like, are you telling me that this main couple that has been so communicative the whole show is all of a sudden forgetting to communicate? And like our male lead is trying to keep her at a distance, and all of a sudden she's serving him divorce papers. And I'm like, I am not against her serving those divorce papers, because she was like, I'm standing up for myself. If you don't want me, that's fine. I'm walking away. I am not putting up with this shit. So I was like, good on her. And this is just another way that she is like, I will be under no man's, jurisdiction. I am my own person. And if I'm not wanted, I'm walking away, baby. I'm not staying. So I love that about her character. I just think this whole arc was frustrating, and yes, they probably needed the conflict, but it's like you have the court politics. Make that the conflict. There's no
Mm.
need for this plot necessarily. But yeah, apparently people were saying that apparently in the book, Xuan Qing is Chen Yan Yun's kid. He's actually his son, and
Oh,
not his nephew. So I was like, oh,
oh,
that's,
that takes
yeah,
it up a
that would,
notch.
yeah, because that would have been even more messy. Um,
Oh,
but
you know, there's a song. Sorry,
there's a
there is a
song. Go for
song
it.
in Ghana, and
Hmm.
I think the chorus starts, "If you break my heart, I'll date your father." That's the
Yeah,
perfect song for that.
that is the perfect song for this situation. Um, but he was literally a little boy playing at being a grown
A
man.
bit, yeah,
That's the whole problem with
exactly.
him.
And you
He
didn't
was
have
a
the
little,
resources.
no, absolutely not. He's a little fish in a big pond. Like, he was just frustrating as a
A,
character.
a pond that was given to him.
Exactly. That was handed to him by his name.
Oh,
Ugh.
yeah. He was a mess. I think I understand the frustration around you know, why did we have to have this conflict within between the couple because of this man? But I also see it as for the female character, she's like, this is a non-issue. This is not a thing because he sends over a letter and she's just like, burn it. I don't need that. I don't need that energy. And she
Yeah.
consistently communicated that, dude, I don't want you. I'm married. I chose this guy. So to her, I understand why she wouldn't tell the uncle about it. Number one, or her husband. Number one, it's an awkward thing to talk about. And she had that conversation with um, her
The
right
maid.
wing woman maid
Yeah.
about what do I say? Like, oh, I used to like him. Like it's such an awkward thing. But number two, it's a non-thing.
It's
So
not an
we can
issue. So,
just, it's not an issue.
yeah.
And we can just deal with it. And she has been used to dealing with things on her own. And for
Mm-hmm.
the male lead, he's frustrated because he's like, I know you can do things on your own, but you have me and
Yeah.
use me. And she's like, I don't need to use
I'm
you.
good. Like, I can take care of it. Yeah,
I
yeah,
can take care of it.
yeah. Mm-hmm.
And he, I don't think, well, I think the way this cuckoo guy was moving made it very difficult for her to deal with it because he was becoming unpredictable.
Yeah, I agree. I agree.
And so he did need to come in at that point. He did need to step in. Um, but that timing of when do I tell you was the hard part.
Yeah. And the thing
Yeah.
is, he was mad at her because she
Yes.
had been in love with him. And it's like, this was before you. Like, this was
Yes.
before. And I think it was interesting because you have throughout the whole drama, you basically have this very composed male lead, right? Throughout the whole drama and throughout all of these situations. And then he loses his crap. Like, he absolutely loses his mind over this situation. And I guess it was supposed to like highlight that she is the only reason and the only person that can sort of do that to him. Um but yeah, he became unreasonable because he was like mad at her for something that she had no control over. It's like this was before you and me. So, but it's you and me
Yes.
now. So,
Okay. Are we talking about the male lead? Because
yes.
okay. I do, as much as I like him, I think that was his weakest moment.
Mhm. Mhm.
Because his reasoning when you watch the show is like, I'm so mad at myself for not recognizing I was in love with you quick enough for you to have like gotten the space to have feelings for someone else and that I wasn't your first. And I'm looking at him like, bruh, you've been married. You're a widow.
You're
Like,
even
you're a
worse. Like,
widower.
what
Yeah,
do you mean?
yeah. What do
Yeah.
you mean? And so it just felt like, yo, what's going on? You've done this rodeo before. It's
Mhm.
not characteristic or yeah, it's not something I expect from you.
Yeah, exactly. No, I
And the
agree.
fact that he couldn't get past it was pissing me off. And in the same breath, I will praise him because that proposal till the end of time, I will
Yeah, I think
remember
I
it.
wrote it. I actually wrote it down. I can't remember what episode it was. But what he was saying to her, oh yeah, it was episode 18 when he proposed to her. And he says, she says, I've never thought about you that way. And then he just says, then start thinking from today onwards. And it's just like, he's just like, look, I'm done messing around. If you don't consider me, start considering. Start
Start
considering.
considering.
Yeah.
While she's just like, hey, if you don't consider me, I'm walking away. So she
Yeah.
needed that. And then the whole listening to her saying why she doesn't want to get married and
Hmm.
what that means or what she's seen other married women go through and her mom and this, for him to come back with a practical answer and be like, hey, here's a piece of paper. And what it says is when you're tired of loving me, or when I've done something that is, out there and you can't do it, here's what you're getting.
You can walk away.
Here's, yeah, you can walk away. Here's how you'll be protected. Here's what I'll do. Here's what you'll get. Here's how your family will be protected. That is a man who really wants you and is
Hmm.
really listening to what you're saying. And it's problem solving to say, I know it's risky. I understand all the risks that you're taking on to be my wife. And here are the ways I will protect you.
Hmm. He's giving her the control over the situation, the upper hand, let's put it that way, a way out if she needs to.
Yeah,
So he's listening to her and saying she doesn't want to lose her freedom and giving her a way to be free within their marriage. So
exactly.
I really liked it, like, because nobody else understood her the way he did, and vice
Yeah,
versa. So
yeah,
that's why their relationship really, really works, is because they're both very practical people,
yeah,
and they are both very much willing to concede to each other on certain points.
yeah,
So I just really liked their relationship and, everything as a whole. But yeah, my biggest quibble for the whole show was Xuan Qing's character. It was I was just over him. And that ending. That ending felt very abrupt to me. I felt like, are we mid-sentence? What's happening? What is happening? And I wanted them to go back in and kind of check in on the characters, like what happened to her sister? What happened to, the other characters around them.
Yeah.
I don't think we got that. And whether it was the fact that they just run out of time or, they just chose to do it that way, but it felt a little abrupt. Almost like I was saying, it was a mid-sentence ending. Almost. I feel like we just needed one extra episode and
Yeah.
then to wrap things up nicely, I think.
Yeah. I agree with you. We were left hanging, and I wish we had spent more time with just seeing how the emperor gets his
Oh my God,
people together.
yes.
That
We need
kid
to
is
talk
the,
about this.
oh,
That I was actually that was the last thing I wanted to touch on because that kid is such a good emperor. Like, what a
fantastic emperor.
and really well played. The kid who played
Yes,
him was really well played. I'm gonna look up his name while you talk about him a little bit more.
he was so smart and he knew who his opponents were.
Yeah.
Like, he knew when to give in and when to push back. He knew when
Hmm.
to like just throw a curious question out. I'm young. I'm learning from you guys. But no, he's running shit. Like he
Hmm.
knows what he wants done, and he really respected his advisors, um, which was also it was awesome the way they guided him, but they also respected him. And even our male lead is like, wow, this emperor has like really grown up. Like he's really
Yeah.
getting it. And I loved how he would meet them outside and
Dressed in
their
his
dy
little undercover.
exactly. And their dynamic of I'm the emperor, but he's also listening to the male lead as like a teacher or advisor.
Hmm.
So there was this like childlike moments, but also very much I'm taking your orders or I'm taking your advice. And it was a beautiful relationship. And the kid did amazing. He
So
had
the kid,
presence.
yeah, he's called Jerry Gong. That's his name. And he's only 11.
Oh
Only
my
11.
gosh. Oh my
So yeah,
gosh.
but he's been acting since 2021. 2021.
Wow.
Um, he was, he was only born in 2014.
Wow.
My God, right? But I really liked him. I think the portrayal was really good, but also in general, he was just a really good emperor, like a really good
Yeah.
emperor. He was better than a lot of other dramas emperors who are twice, three times his age and don't have an
Yes.
ounce of the knowledge and, way about them like he did. So I
Yeah.
really, really liked him. Yeah, and I loved his relationship with Ye Xian as well. I just thought, it was truly like more brother and
Yes.
more of a sibling relationship between the two of them. So yeah, I think overall I liked this drama, bar those little quibbles. It's a good drama. It's a good romance between our main couple, and some of the supporting characters get really good storylines as well. So overall, I was happy I watched it. I don't think I have anything else to say. Have you got
What do you
anything
mean?
else to say?
Yes, I have a lot to
Oh,
say. I'll keep it short and cute. But
go for it,
um
Carol.
number one, our I guess villain, Fu
Yeah,
Hailian,
we haven't
the
even touched on him.
minister.
Yeah.
He was a very interesting character to me because it's almost like you I never know the term. I have to look it up, but like you stick around long enough, you become the villain kind of thing.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Because he had well-meaning intentions in the beginning
Mm-hmm.
with the
Mm-hmm.
taxes and all these other ideas he had, and at the same time, he had all these backdoor I guess, backdoor, I guess, what's the word?
Mm, backdoor intentions,
That's
ways,
the word.
int
For himself. So he was doing the same things that he was trying to abolish to make sure
yeah,
that everyone is treated fairly, but let me get my own.
yeah,
And
yeah,
I
yeah,
thought that
yeah.
was really interesting. And the male lead recognizing that eventually that, hey, like, why are you doing this stuff that this is not what we agreed on? This is not why I respect you so much, or this is not why I admire you and I'm sticking by you. And this is why my male lead also never commits. He's just like, I'm a man of my own. I make my own decisions, while
Mhm.
the people around his teacher were just following whatever his teacher said.
Yeah.
And yeah, I didn't like how they ended things like his wife dying and all those things. It was
That
just
was
too
unnecessary.
convenient.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
No, it was convenient to let him go like that because he was such a nuanced. You could dig a little bit deeper into, okay, you're saying all these things, but behind the scenes you're doing these things. Like how do you match it
Mhm.
up?
Mhm, mhm.
Which you could sort of say the female lead felt the same way about the male lead when she first met him, or the first couple
True.
of episodes where she's like, I know you. You killed someone. And you're doing this too? Like, what's going on with you, sir?
Yeah.
You're
Yeah.
you're not adding up. Um, and then I loved the when he decided, I don't know whether he decided to make her jealous, but at that horse riding event where they all got together.
My face. Because it's the famous scene where everybody's like, his look when he turns around, right? Everybody was gaga over that scene.
He knew.
He
No one
knew
can
what he was doing.
convince. He knew what he was doing. No one can
He
convince me otherwise
absolutely
because
did.
he had told her, think about it. And now he's just like, I got to show her why she should. And I just
Exactly.
loved that. I just loved that. And when she served him the divorce papers and he cried, oh,
I think
yeah,
that was the first and last break in, you know, break in his facade almost that we
yeah,
see throughout the
yeah,
show. That and when like he found Ye Xian and then they won the battle later on and he was like, this one's for you, this win belongs to you. And I was like, how good of a man have you got to be to, hand over
yeah,
the win
yeah,
to
to
Yishan?
someone else.
Hmm.
And then that scene where he comes home and she's just like, go sleep somewhere else. And he's like, no, because if I go, you're not gonna let me back. I was like, "Ugh." It's such a great contrast
Yeah.
with how decisive and hard he is outside and how like goo goo gaga for her he is when he comes home.
She
And then
absolutely wears the pants in that relationship.
oh, and then just like the way he talked to his mom and his sisters, like he's not, don't give my wife a hard time. Like
Yeah.
he set the boundaries. And yeah, there was one scene where he wanted to save her and she's just like, I'll use my feminine ways to solve this issue. It was with the
Hmm.
wives club.
Yeah, yeah,
She's
yeah,
like,
yeah.
I have a way,
I got
you know,
this.
I got this. And he
Yeah.
just, yeah, I trust you. You got it.
You do your thing.
When this
Yeah.
female lead slapped that woman for talking shit about the male lead when he was injured,
It was so good. It was so
I
good.
play
But
that scene over and over again.
such a good scene. But also the fact that she was very much very active.
Yes.
in the relationship. I will say, oh, that's another thing. Their kissing scenes could have been a little bit better. I
Oh,
don't know if it was the way that it was shot or if it was the way that it was being played, or I don't know. I don't know. But the kissing scene, the thing is, there's a lot of heat between them and there's a lot of
yes.
like tension between them. So when they finally do kiss, I'm going to be like, this is going to be almost
Epic.
explosive, but it's not. It's very subdued. It's very, and I guess that fits them and like the relationship, but also I just needed a little bit more from those kissing scenes.
I agree. I was disappointed with the kissing scenes, but they sort of made it up with the hand choreography when they are
Yes.
kissing. I was like, ooh,
Yeah.
them hands be doing things. And I think the best kissing scene was actually in the deleted scene. Have you seen the deleted scene?
I don't think so. Maybe I'll have to go
Oh
and
my
look it up.
gosh.
I'll have to,
I'm
you'll have to
gonna
send it to me.
I'm gonna send it to you. But this is when he has the full beard and he finds her in the forest and he takes her to his little shack that he's
Oh, I'm missing
created.
out on
And they
this.
had a whole, like, we got busy. I'm like, why wasn't this in the full show? We were
Mm.
robbed because, oh, they both looked really hot.
You'll have
Um,
to, yeah. You'll
I'm gonna
absolutely
send it
have
to
to
you.
send it to me. Yeah,
And
send it
that
to
was
me.
the best scene. And yeah, and the final thing was the cinematography
Mm.
for me. This was one of the most, I know I watched Pursuit of Jade and I said it was beautiful, but this, it made me pay attention to just how historical dramas have like a foreground, a midground, and a background. And when they want you to
Mm.
concentrate on what the lighting that is displayed, and there's always depth in the shot. There's always
Yeah.
something, even if it's a teacup, there's always something in front. And so you feel like the
To
room is
contrast it.
larger
Yeah. Mhm.
than it
Mhm.
is. And oh, I have so many screenshots on my phone of scenes that I pause and I'm like, look at the lighting, look at the depth, look at the detail, look at the colors. It was just magical in a different
Yeah.
way that Pursuit of Jade was. Yeah.
I will say, as my last thing, very last thing, and it's not just about this show, it's about historicals in general. Nobody does a historical like Chinese drama
Oh,
land. I just
100%.
feel like C-drama historicals,
Yeah.
they're just a feast for the eyes in general.
Yeah.
And yes, the story is sometimes not the best, but they tend to be beautiful to watch on
Yeah.
screen. So yeah, I just don't think anybody's doing it like them when it comes to historical dramas. But yeah,
I
I
agree.
think that is it. That is our
Yes.
splendid match review. What a great, we've been having a run with C dramas lately. So
We really have.
I'm so thankful that's the case. And we're only halfway through the year. I mean, that's the thing, we're only halfway through the year. Um, so I'm just excited to see what else comes. And yeah, I'll have to have you back at the end of the year so we can do a year wrap up, a C
I'd
drama
love
year
that.
wrap up. Um, because usually I do a drama trio edition, but we
Yes.
talk more. There's K dramas and stuff, so I'll have to have you on for like a C drama specific one. See
Okay.
what ends up being our top dramas for the year. I
Sounds
reckon
good.
this one will be one for you.
Yes, it will.
Absolutely.
It will. Let's see what tomorrow brings.
Oh my
Um,
gosh, yes.
yeah.
I'm very excited about that. Carol, thank you so much for joining me. Where can people find you? Let people know where they can go and find you.
You can find me on Instagram as KdramasMusings, and I opened up a Substack, so you can find me there too. I mostly talk about K-dramas, but C-dramas have been giving us a run for K-drama money. So I have been yeah, reviewing more C dramas and watching more C dramas. So
Mhm.
if you're interested in that, please DM me your thoughts on shows. Clearly, I was super excited about Splendid Match. Let me know what you thought about this episode and your thoughts on the show. Just DM me.
I'll make sure to link that in the episode notes. Go and give Carol a follow. She has a great account, so make sure you
Oh,
do
thank you.
that. And that is it. That is the episode. Thank you so much for hanging out with us, and we shall catch you in the next one. Bye.
Bye.